dad was shocked to hear your forgiveness.
I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you.
Shane and Dylan, I forgive you.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Geiger, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
Lord, I thank you for your forgiveness.
This individual is Amber Geiger, formerly a patrol officer with the Dallas Police Department, currently facing murder charges in Texas. On the evening of September 6, 2018, tragedy struck when 26-year-old Botham Jean, an African-American, lost his life. Geiger mistakenly entered his apartment and discharged her weapon. Initially accused of manslaughter, Geiger was subsequently charged with murder. The incident sparked public demonstrations and allegations of racial bias. Jean, an unarmed man, met his demise in his own home at the hands of a white police officer who purposely neglected standard procedures. Botham Jean and Amber Geiger resided in the Southside Flats apartment complex in Dallas. Geiger occupied a unit on the 3rd floor, directly below Jean's 4th floor apartment. On that ill-fated day, after completing a lengthy shift, Geiger returned to the apartment complex. Being on the phone with her partner, she mistakenly entered Jean's apartment under the impression it was her own. Overlooking any indicators that she was on the incorrect floor, she entered the apartment, encountering Jean, who was unarmed, seated in his living room consuming ice cream. Geiger discharged her weapon, asserting she believed he posed a threat as an intruder, fearing for her safety. Jean was rushed to hospital but sadly died from his injuries. Throughout the trial, Geiger claimed a tragic error, asserting she thought she was in her own apartment and perceived Jean as a threat. In a deeply emotional courtroom moment, Brant Jean, Botham Jean's brother, surprised many by publicly forgiving Geiger and expressing his wish for her to avoid incarceration.
I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Can I give her a hug, please? Please?
Botham Jean's father also forgave Geiger but insisted on a harsher sentence.
I'm ready to do it. I can be your friend, and I would like to be a friend despite my loss. But God is good. That's why I make questions. So I appreciate what Grant did, in as much there are consequences for every action.
However, on October 1, 2019, Geiger was convicted of murder. The next day, she received a 10-year prison sentence.
We, the jury, unanimously find the defendant, Amber Geiger, guilty of murder as charged in the indictment.
Many claimed that her remorse was genuine, and the main factor in Amber's actions was fatigue. In Wellington, New Zealand, we have a case involving 20-year-old Dylan Pakai and 44-year-old Shane Pierre Harrison, both facing charges for murder. Kai, responsible for shooting CO, received a life sentence with a minimum non-parole period of 12 years and 3 months. Harrison, playing a significant role in the incident, was also sentenced to life imprisonment with a minimum non-parole period of 13 years. Notably, Harrison had a prior manslaughter conviction back in 1987 when he was jailed for 6 years for his part in torturing a victim of gang discipline. This murder conviction marked his second strike, meaning he has to serve the entire life term unless deemed unjust. Yafeda Matalasi, the father of the late Alonso Matalasi, also known as CO, initially expressed a desire for revenge if his son's killers were not convicted. However, his sentiments evolved, and during a court hearing at the High Court in Wellington, he surprisingly conveyed forgiveness and a wish for the perpetrators to be set free. Matalasi recognized the irrevocable loss of his son and concluded that forgiveness was his only viable option, holding no reservations as he extended his forgiveness.
Without any reservations, Shane and Dylan, I forgive you. I plead with you to let Shane Pierre Harrison and Dylan Pakai go free.
He he appealed to the judge, requesting their release, emphasizing the potential for a life lived with compassion for others. However, Justice Jill Mellon clarified that she couldn't fulfill that request. She explained the imperative nature of imposing jail terms in such cases and the necessity of legal consequences for the entire society. In our next story, we turn our attention to Trey Alexander Relford, who is currently facing charges related to the murder of Salahuddin Jitmud in Lexington, Kentucky. Salahuddin, a pizza delivery person, tragically lost his life after being lured into an apartment complex where he was robbed and killed. During the sentencing phase, Abdul Munam Sombat Jitmud, Salahuddin's father, surprised the courtroom by extending forgiveness to Relford, emphasizing the significance of forgiveness as a charitable act in Islam.
I feel so sad for you that you have to be in this situation. I wish I could help you, as I help my son to be a good citizen. If Salahuddin were to be here, if he alive, he will forgive you. That's the way he was. That's the way he is. I forgive you on behalf of Salahuddin and his mother.
As the court proceedings continued, Relford, visibly moved, commended Jitmud for this unexpected act of forgiveness. He expressed gratitude for Jitmud's understanding of the pain and suffering caused, offering apologies for the tragic incident. The two shared a poignant moment with an emotional hug.
I'm sorry about what happened that day. But I do applaud you, because it takes a powerful man to know that somebody has hurt them and do what you, get up there and say what you just said. I have a child. She is 4. And I can imagine the hurt, the pain, what you learned. Just tell them how you do. Well, I thank you for your forgiveness.
Jitmud reassured Relford of the possibility of a fresh start, encouraging him to strive for productivity upon his release after 31 years. Despite Jitmud's act of forgiveness, Relford received a substantial prison term, facing 31 years for charges including complicity in murder, complicity in robbery, and attempted tampering with evidence. An unexpected courtroom scene unfolded as Jitmud attributed his anger not towards Relford but towards the devil, citing religious teachings from the Quran.
I blame the devil, who misguiding you and misleading you to do such a horrible. No, I don't blame you. I'm not angry.
Adding to the voices in the courtroom, Relford's mother, Gail Coote Bird, addressed the hearing, acknowledging her son's struggles with drugs. She expressed deep regret for the Jitmud family's loss and extended gratitude for their willingness to agree to a plea deal, sparing Relford from a potential death penalty.
I am deeply sorry for your loss. And I thank you so much for comforting me and my family, because I was shocked to hear your forgiveness.
Relford's expressions of remorse and apologies suggest that there may be an opportunity for redemption.